shall be the whole of the law. Hey everyone, FRATER Superabo here again. Thanks for checking out my channel where we are and always will be the home of common sense occultism and practical magic. Thank you for joining me today. Really quick, if you haven't already done so, please look below and find that big red subscribe button and go ahead and hit that for me. Then look to the right, you'll see a bell. Go ahead and hit that bell. That way you are notified each and every time we upload new content to this channel, and you can watch it as soon as humanly possible. One last thing, please remember to like and share this and all videos. Thank you very, very much. And let's get down to business. Okay, I have been promising this video for a while now, and I am finally getting to do it, so yes. Very happy to do that. The description says it all, excuse me, the title says it all. What is Thelema? In my opinion, past, present, and future. So what we're going over today is basically just that. A lot of people are confused about this crazy magical religion, or is it magical, or what is Thelema? Essentially, people just, there's still a lot of confusion apparently about what Thelema is and where it came from, and is it still the same as its origins, or is it totally different? And I'm going to do my best to answer those questions today from my perspective. So, with that in mind, let me get my little legal disclaimer out of the way. This is my opinion, FRATER Superabo's opinion. This is not the opinion of any Thelemic organization. So, this is not the opinion of Ordo Templi Orientis, otherwise known as OTO. This is not the opinion of the Order of AA, sometimes referred to as Argentium Astrum or Astrum Argentium. This is not the opinion of the TGD, the Thelemic Golden Dawn. This is not the opinion of the Open Source Order of the Golden Dawn, or Typhonian OTO, or any other Thelemic organization that I may have missed. This is my opinion, and I do not speak for any of these other organizations or people, and I don't speak for Thelemites as a whole either. So that's one of my pet peeves, when people claim that they know it all and that they speak for a whole religion when they are not the founder nor the head of that religion. So I am definitely not speaking for all Thelemites. I am speaking for myself as a Thelemite. Some people may even argue against me being a Thelemite. They may say that I'm not a Thelemite after watching this. You never know. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Thelemite, and I'm going to give you my opinion on why I feel that to be so and what this religion entails. First of all, is it a religion? Is Thelema a religion? I believe so. In my opinion, Thelema is a religion. It has religious concepts, and it has a holy book, many holy books actually. So in my opinion, yes, it very much is a religion. People argue and say, no, it's not a religion, it's a philosophy. You know, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a philosophy, sure. But I also believe it's a religion. So that's, I'm not going to go back and forth about that. To me, Thelema is a religion. It is recognized as a religion pretty much in every state in the United States. I don't know about other countries, but most places, the religion of Thelema is recognized as a religion. The church, Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica, or the Gnostic Catholic Church, that is the Church of Thelema, the main Church of Thelema, is recognized as an actual church and is a religion. So we'll get that one right out of the way. I could go, I know I'm saying a lot, sorry. I could go into this like all other what is Thelema videos, and just list a bunch of dates and read off a computer screen and do things like that, and just be very dry and just give you those type of facts. But I'm not going to do that today. I think it's important to, because obviously the facts are there and people still still have questions. People still are wondering or are confused about what this really is, or they don't get all the information that they need to get from those facts. So I'm not going to just simply list facts on when it was founded and yada yada yada. I mean, I'm going to get some of that. We're in my rambling, I will get into that, I'm sure. But I wanted to do a little bit more than that, and like I said in the title, I want to give my opinion, my perspective on it. Went from starting as a Thelemite to now in the present time, and has my view changed? I'd be interested to hear in the comments below as well from other Thelemites if your perspective or views of the religion of Thelema has changed since being involved in however long you've been a Thelemite. Are there any former Thelemites out there who no longer consider themselves Thelemites? All that stuff I'm open to hearing in the comment section below, so feel free. Okay, back to business. You heard me say at the beginning of this video, and I'm pretty sure all my videos I open this way, where I say, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," and that is the Thelemic greeting, as it were. Okay, there is a whole bunch of, let's say, mystical stuff behind that sentence that you can break down with different types of numerology and stuff, but I'm not doing that today. This isn't a video on gematria or gematria, however you want to pronounce it, or numerology, or any of the hidden codes or key to the book of the law or anything. This is not that video, so not that video. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. There's a lot of controversy around that statement as well, because people think that it means you can do whatever the heck you want to do, that we have no morals, that there are no character, there are no morals or established character or guidelines in Thelema, and you can just run about willy-nilly and do whatever the heck you like to do. And I'd say that some Thelemites have acted this way and have done it under the guise of do what thou wilt, and it's given a lot of the serious Thelemites a bad name. So maybe that's where some of that comes from, but all you got to do is do a little bit of looking, and you can see that the founder, the person that started this whole thing, very much says, do what thou wilt does not mean do as you like or do what you like. This is a theme that is constantly having to be repeated over and over again, so I'm going to repeat it again. Hopefully people will listen this time. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law does not mean do whatever the heck you want to do. It does not mean do what you like without consequence. It does not mean any of that. Okay, so we can get that out of the way. We can get first fact out of the way. Thelema is a religion that was founded by a gentleman named Aleister Crowley. Not Crowley. Crowley. Aleister Crowley. Pet peeve of mine. I'm sure it was a pet peeve of his as well, because he wrote about it and how to properly pronounce his name. So, Aleister Crowley started this religion. He and one of the foundations of it is he received a text via mystical communication with his holy guardian angel. This is what he said. This is not what I'm saying definitely happened, but I do believe there is a holy guardian angel for each of us, and I'm not going to say, because believe it or not, there are people out there within the religion of Thelema that even say that, you know, they don't necessarily believe that this happened. But anyway, regardless of whether it really happened, how he said it happened or not, the story behind it is, in 1904, in April 8th, 9th, and 10th, Aleister Crowley received a text from his holy guardian angel that was called IWAS, a 3-chapter book called the Book of the Law, also known as Liber Vel Legis. That's this book right here. Sure, people have seen it before. And he received a chapter of day, and this unfolded the religion. It was an announcement of a new age, a new Aeon, as it is called in the Book of the Law. again, like I said, I'm not going to dissect the book of the law chapter by chapter and go into everything line by line and all that stuff. But this is a general overview. If you would like to do a part 2 where I go into more stuff like that, then in the future we'll get to that. But this is very much a general video on what is Thelema, so in case anyone is watching and is just getting into the whole Thelema thing, or they have a bad taste in their mouth because of stuff they've heard, or they're just curious and you're just here and this is where you ended up, I want to do my best to steer you in the right direction to get an interpretation of what being a Thelemite can be and is for me and could be for you. So, alright, before I go off on a tangent, anyway, like I said, I'm not going to get into that. There's your one fact, though. In April 1904, 8th, 9th, and 10th, the Book of the Law was communicated to Aleister Crowley, who then went forth. Not immediately, so please don't say, oh no, he didn't do it right away, kind of let it sit there because I'm well aware that he did, but we're just going to fast forward a little bit into why this is relevant to me today and to Thelemites today. So, he received the Book of the Law, and that is very much the standard holy text, or the Bible, as it were, of Thelemites. And it is all founded on this one statement of, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Now, I am going to break this down in the simplest way I can, because this upsets me sometimes. It really does. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law simply means, in my opinion, I guess I have to say that, but in my opinion, it simply means you have the absolute right to do your life's purpose. Everyone on this planet or whatever has a life's purpose, a true will, which is never mentioned in the Book of the Law. We hear the term true will all the time. I'm sure you've heard that in regards to Thelema. That is not mentioned in the entire Book of the Law. Now, pure will is, but not true will. Anyway, this true will, this idea of true will, is essentially saying life's purpose. I think if they would have said life's purpose to begin with, there'd be a lot less arguments and a lot less issues within certain texts and diversiveness and controversy and all kinds of, if we just said, do your life's purpose. So, to me, I interpret that statement, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, that everyone has a life's purpose, and it is your ultimate goal. It should be what you love above all things, above all else. You are meant to do that purpose, the one that is done for you. And it's as simple as that. We could go on and on about this sentence of do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. We could say over and over. I'm just going to say do what thou wilt from now. Do what thou wilt from now on, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. But we could go on and on about do what thou wilt. But to me, we would just circle right back around to it means do your life's purpose. And Thelema basically says that if everyone did this, we would live in a perfect world, and there would be order in the universe, and all of that good stuff. Because if everyone is doing what they're truly meant to do, their life's purpose, then there would be balance, because everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, what is balance and what is ma'at or whatever, that maybe we're not even capable of understanding that. But that's what we're getting at here, is that do your life's purpose. Find it, do it. Your mission in life. They founded a whole religion on it now. Your mission in life is to find out why you are here, to find out what you're supposed to do, and to do that. And you will achieve happiness and live a wonderful life and continue to do your will and your purpose throughout this life and into the next, after death, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I don't know if that sounds silly to some people, but I mean, even though we're a relatively small church, the EGC is, which is the main church of Thelema, a relatively small membership-wise, but in my opinion, the idea of do what thou wilt is pretty universal now. I mean, just look. You can see it all around you. You have people like Eckhart Tolle writing books about being happy and finding what you're meant to do in life, and this is God and this is happiness. You have all within the New Age community people talking about being the best version of themselves, living the life they were meant to live, and doing their purpose. That's no different than saying doing your will. And no one, half the time, people aren't even taught this. Like, it's just a general accepted idea now. You could meet someone on the street and just say, hey, do you believe you have a life's purpose? You believe everyone has a life's purpose? And I guarantee you 9 out of 10 people will say, yeah, I do. I think so. They may say, I don't know what mine is yet. But it's a pretty universal idea. And that is what this faith is supposed to be founded upon. That idea, that wonderful idea that that you are here for something that only you can do, and that you are meant to do, and it is your job while you are here in this fleshly body to discover that purpose, do it, and be happy. I don't see the controversy in that. I don't see why there has to be arguments and disagreements to it, because that's the thing. And to me, it's a lot of stuff. Like I said, a lot of stuff could be solved just by inserting life's purpose in the place of true will. I'm going to do a video on Liber Oz another time probably, because I just see no way around it. And yes, I am aware that each person interprets the book of law, every man for himself, and yada yada yada, and the comment and all that stuff. And this is not me. I am not claiming to know all things or to know everything there is to know about this book, because I do not. But I'm saying, remember, common sense occultism, I'm saying that common sense dictates that at a base level, if you want to be a Thelemite, or even if you don't, even if you don't consider yourself a Thelemite, if you believe in a life's purpose, and you are actively seeking out what that is, or you feel that you have discovered it and you are doing it, then you are a Thelemite, like it or not. Has nothing to do with OTO, has nothing to do with AA, has nothing to do with Magick. I know this is a channel that is dedicated to spirituality based on magic, but Thelema has absolutely nothing to do with magic. So, now, is there Thelemic magic? Yeah. I wouldn't call it Thelemic magic. I would call it magic that's based off of the Thelemic philosophy, because magic is just magic to me. But Thelema, in and of itself, has absolutely nothing to do with magic. or occultism or mysticism or anything. It's simply, you have a life's purpose, you do it. And that's it. Pretty simple. No need to argue or debate. It's that easy. That's it. So, now, be that as it may, we all know the man that's considered the prophet of Thelema, Aleister Crowley, was a magician and a mystic, and was very much involved with fraternal orders. So, they're kind of linked. Is it a necessity? Absolutely not. But how I see it, at least, is that doing these things, doing the great work, doing magic, being active in that sense, trying to find hidden meanings of things, is going to make you able to discover that purpose that we're talking about a lot easier than doing nothing at all. So that's my belief as to why they are kind of linked up so well with magic and occult spirituality, because that's why people flock to this. Again, occult just means hidden. I'm sure most of you know that already. But when you're trying to discover that hidden truth, this is the hidden truth within yourself, because if we don't know it, it's hidden. If we don't know what our purpose is, what our will is, it's hidden, and we're trying to discover it, so we're a part of the occult already. So, magic and occultism can go hand in hand with Thelema, very much so. Is it a magical religion? I'd like to hear your opinions, honestly. My answer is yes, it is a magical religion, or at least yes, it can be, because it was a religion founded through magic, and most of its tenets are based magically in a way. But is it a requirement? No. That's actually one of the things that I think causes issues amongst Thelemites, is if people, you hear me talk about doing the work on this channel all the time. Do the work, do the work, do the work. The work being the great work. And for me, that is part of that is doing magic, is actively doing magic. So, in my opinion, if we did the work, doing the work would cut out a lot of the nonsense that you see, and we would be able to focus more on doing our life's purpose. So, and magic, if you're a true magician, if you want to be a magician, then magic should be wrapped up and connected with that life's purpose. So, we should be doing it anyway. And I think focus for Thelemites to focus on magic is one of the most beneficial, that's the word I'm looking for, it's one of the most beneficial things that a Thelemite can do for him or herself. I'm really trying not to go off on a tangent here and stick to the topic, the topic at hand. So, is Thelema a magical religion? Yes and no, I guess, in my point of view. When I started, when I first heard of Thelema, or when I began when I began getting more into the whole Aleister Crowley thing, and I was already involved with magic. This isn't going to be a life story, don't worry. I was hesitant at first, because you do hear things, and my whole thing was, well, I practice magic, and I'm a mystic and an occultist and blah 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 blah, and a spiritual alchemist and literal alchemist and all those, you know, wonderful words and titles we like to call ourselves. But I don't feel that I need to identify with one said label of a religion. That being Thelema. Even though I was into Crowley and I was into a lot of things, I didn't, you know, I hadn't necessarily accepted the Book of the Law. If you even do that, I don't know. But I wasn't a part of any fraternal orders at that time when this was going on. Obviously that changed, but I was not a part of any magical orders or Thelemic fraternal orders at that time. Correction, I should say, because I was involved with a fraternity before then, but I wasn't involved in any Thelemic fraternities. And you know, my whole thing is that I was like, well, I don't need some order or whatever to tell me how to do my magic or how to live my life's purpose. And I literally think that. And then, like, now, just seeing myself, and there's a particular conversation I had that I can see like clear as day when I said this. I was in a class, and I said, I don't need, you know, someone to say I need to be a part of said religion to do magic and find my life's purpose. And it didn't have anything to do, it wasn't a Thelemic class or at an OTO function or anything like that, but now I like see like how silly that statement was, because no one tells you that, and the fact that I was saying that, and I hope this makes sense, but the fact that I was even saying that was basically identifying as a Thelemite, because I was basically claiming my individuality and my right to find my own life's purpose and to do it. So almost at that moment, I was already identifying with the identifying as a Thelemite and all of the core principles of a Thelemite by saying I don't need to be a Thelemite. I hope that makes sense, but it was like, you know, that's like an aha moment that I had later on. Anyway, back on topic. So yeah, we have this statement, this "do what thou wilt" should be the whole of the law, and then we have the follow up, the "love is the law, love under will," that you'll hear me end the videos with. And to get to the simple, we're going to get simple. Remember, common sense and simple. That's what we're doing today. So what that is saying, in my opinion, and what seems to be a pretty common agreement amongst most, is that the ultimate act of love, that true agape love, that divine love, however you see it, the way to do that love, there is no greater love than doing that will, that true will, that life's purpose, that the way to show and experience divine love is by doing your will. At least that's how I see it. I'm sure there'll be some people that'll disagree, but again, this is my opinion, damn it. So, but yeah, love is the law, love under will. So the love is the law of Thelema, that law that says, do your life's purpose. That is love. And that love is under will. Again, there is a lot of information out there about this, and again, it's not up to me to interpret this statement for you. I can simply just say what has helped me along the way and how I see certain things. And you know, I get all up in my head, and I may not be correct on everything right now, and I may go back and see this video and be like, oh, dang it, I didn't mean it that way, or whatever, because we're human and we all make mistakes. But, again, I'm not trying to ramble on like I do. We all know I do it, so one of the many flaws of Super Rabo here. But yeah, that the way to experience that ultimate love is doing your will, and that doing your will, doing that life's purpose of yours is the ultimate act of love. And in that sense, makes the world perfect when you are doing, makes your world perfect and makes the world a better place when you are doing your life's purpose. And I don't know, that just resonates with me. So, obviously, there is a whole lot of information out there about Thelema, and if you want to get involved with an organization, or you want to do you want the stats, you want all the stats on Thelema and the dates and all that good stuff. There's plenty of stuff to read. There's plenty of information out there. I don't want to be a fact lister because I don't want to bore people. I really don't. I don't want to give you something that you could simply... the way I ramble, I don't want to list facts and ramble on and on about each little tiny fact, and you to switch off this video and go be like, well, I could have just went to the Hermetica website. I could have went to Hermetic.com and got the facts. All this stuff he went on for 20 minutes about blah blah blah, and I just wanted it, you know. Then you can do that, but that's why I'm saying I would rather give you something that is, I don't know, that hopefully can be applicable to you in your quest for understanding, on your quest for that life's purpose. Because I honestly believe you wouldn't be watching this channel if you didn't believe in a life's purpose. Regardless of whether you identify as a Thelemite or not. You may totally disagree with my statement that everyone is a Thelemite if they believe in a life's purpose. You know, and that's up to you. You can do that. You know, you may be hardcore Golden Dawn, there is no Aeon of Horus, you know, any of that type of thing. You might be one of those cats, and that's totally cool. But I think we can find common ground on this, though, that even if you are that way, or if, you know, if you're a hardcore Wiccan and you know, don't want to, you know, kind of accept things that, or you know, or you just don't agree when it comes to that. Well, I mean, sorry, I had to check the time on the video. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to agree. But I think everyone watching this channel probably does believe that they have a life's purpose, and they do love magic and are passionate about doing the great work, and that's all I care about, because I believe that's part of my life's purpose, to be passionate about magic and the great work, and to share that passion with others, and to help them realize how they can experience the same love that I have for magic and the great work the way I have, and maybe not to make some of the same stupid mistakes that I've made along the way. So, you know, that's the whole point here. And that's why I didn't want to just list facts when it came to this topic. I can give you a couple more facts. You know, the whole 3 Aeons thing. Basically, the Thelema, the Book of the Law, it states that there have been 3 basic Aeons, basically a period that lasts for about 2,000 years. The Aeon of Isis, where matriarchy and goddess worship was very prominent. Then fast forward, you have the Aeon of Osiris, where sacrifice was necessary, and patriarchy and patriarchal gods kind of took the place and of the goddess worship. And then it was also the Aeon of called the Aeon of the Dying God, the Aeon of Osiris, or Asar in actual Egyptian, which is the Aeon of, highly dominated by the Abrahamic religions and Judeo-Christianity, where there was a sacrifice needed, where you needed an interceder to be able to experience divinity after death. Whereas the Book of the Law states, at least this is how I see it, the Book of the Law and Thelema states that now in the Aeon of the child, you had mother, you had father, now you have the child. Horus, the Aeon of Horus, where, that is why I wore the Horus shirt, by the way, in case you're wondering. Anyway, back on topic. The Aeon of Horus, that is why we are now in the Aeon of Horus. I'm getting all tongue-tied, damn. We no longer need that sacrifice. We don't need the sacrifice to experience divinity, and we can experience that divine love here and now by doing our life's purpose and realizing that divinity within ourselves and becoming like a god. At least that's how I interpret it. So I'm sure there's going to be people that pick apart my statements and say the inconsistencies or whatever, and I'm sure they're there. Like I said, I'm not trying to say this is this. I'm giving a bare, simplistic definition of what helped me to understand it and how I see things, so that the new person or the person that has heard bad things can maybe get past that, or at least see it from a different perspective. So I don't know if I need a part 2 to this or not. Please let me know. And this video is taking a little different turn than I thought it was going to, and that's just kind of how I like to keep it on this channel, because I feel that that's real, and I'm about being real and going with feeling and the energy of things. So while this video kind of took a little bit of a different turn than I thought it was going to, I don't know, I'm still satisfied. So if you have questions, or if there's something that I didn't specifically answer, you can leave them in the comments below. Feel free. I will do my absolute best to answer each and every comment if I have an answer. I am not that guy that is going to pretend to have an answer. If I don't have it, I have no I have no shame in saying, hey, I don't know. I like to be a realist, and if I don't know, I would rather say I do not know than to try and act like I know and seem like I'm some all-knowing guru and then have it come back to bite me or to be proven wrong later. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But what I really wanted to get across, and I hope I did so, is that Thelema, which means will, by the way, I probably should have said that. The word Thelema means will. Thelema, at its core, is a faith a set of principles, a religion that is built around the idea, or the fact, in my opinion, the fact that everyone has a life's purpose, and their goal should be to find out what that is and to spend every day, every minute, trying to fulfill that and do it. There'll be ups and downs. There'll be all kind on the, especially if you're involved with Magick. You of course reference my video about obstacles. There's going to be issues. I do not want to seem like I'm contradicting myself from my previous videos and saying that, okay, well, once you identify as a Thelemite and you find your life's purpose, then you won't have any problems because doing your life's purpose makes you happy, and happiness is not having any problems. I'm not saying that at all. So, you can quote me on that. I am not saying that at all. Because there will be problems. And those problems will fit in some way to your life's purpose, at least as I see it. So, it's simple. It's a simple idea, but it is very, very complicated and complex when it comes down to the bare details of it. So there is no easy answer, and there never will be. And I know in the Aeon of Horus, we kind of, some people say that, oh, well, sacrifice or pain is no longer needed. Oh, we could go into so much about that, but I believe that that's more along the lines of the big sacrifice, talking about having a god die for you, to wash away some sort of sin. No. When general sacrifice, I'm not talking about either in Hindu. I'm not even saying in the Hinduist idea of, okay, you suffer to become better, or the Buddhist thing where you get all your suffering out of the way to then achieve enlightenment. You don't need to suffer. We do say that. You do not need to suffer, but there is sacrifice. There is sacrifice, and I'm not talking about sacrificial magic. I'm talking about there is sacrifices to be made. There is certain things that you will have to do or give up or push yourself past to achieve that purpose. So I believe it is a mistake for someone to say there is no sacrifice needed in the Aeon of Horus. But again, that could be a whole nother topic. Okay, before I go on and on, I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope I gave at least a good intro to at least what the core of Thelema is, and kind of give you a little peek inside of how, my brain works and how I perceive things. And yeah, so I hope you got something out of this, and I hope that whether you identify as a Thelemite or not, I hope that everyone watching this channel is striving to find their life's purpose and trying to do it to the utmost of their ability, and is finding happiness through the great work, through magic and practical spirituality. And again, I thank everyone for tuning in. Look in the description below. You will see all the links to my social media. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my lovely patrons. Thank you very, very much. I'm still new to the whole thing, so bear with me when it comes to this channel and to that page. If you would, as everyone knows, all this information on YouTube is free, but if you would like to support my work and become a member of the team and earn some really cool rewards, the Patreon link is in the description. So by all means, check that out, and feel free to become a part of, take the extra step and become a part of the team that is Frater Super Robo's YouTube channel and the mission of common sense occultism and practical magic. So again, shout out to my patrons. Nick, thank you very much. I don't want to say your last name on camera in case you didn't want me to. So Nick C, thank you very much. Shout out to you. And Frater TM, thank you very, very much. Not saying your name either because I figured you'd want to be identified as the magical name. So if you want that something different, if you want me to say your name, let me know, bro. I will gladly do so. But again, thank you guys, and to all my patrons and to future patrons, thank you very, very much for believing in me and what we do here. So that out of the way and rant over, that's Thelema at its base core. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, check everything out in the description. There's much, much more to come. Don't know what we're going to do next. Probably be the vlog. We're going to try and alternate. Vlog, then lecture / how-to. So, yeah, stay tuned. You guys are awesome. And I will see you very, very soon. Love is the law. Love 'em.